In today's class, let us try to understand the anatomy, internal structure of dicot stem. Strictly speaking, internal structure of primary dicot stem, because most of the dicot stems undergo secondary growth because most of them are perennials, therefore the secondary growth takes place. Understanding of the dichotomy of stem is important in two respects, from theory as well as practicals. In practicals, mostly this will be asked as a major question. You will be asked to take a thin section of the dicot stem, prepare a temporary slide, observe under the microscope, identify the different parts, draw the diagram, label the parts, describe, and finally you have to write how did you identify that it is the dicot stem. So marks will be allotted for different parts, taking a thin section, preparing a stain, then identification, description, labeling, like this. In that way, dichotomy of stem is important for theory and practice. Mostly you will be given the stems of Tridac's or sunflower, because the sunflower will be stem will be thick. Mostly you will be given the Tridac's stem. If you take a thin section with the help of the blade, then that section is washed in water. A temporary mount is made with the help of safranin, which is a red color. Most of the tissues take the safranin color. Put the section under the on the slide. Put a drop of glycerin or water and put a cover slip. Then observe the first under the light microscope, dissecting microscope. After that, the compound microscope. If you prepare the section properly and observe under the microscope, the outline will be like this. If you see the section under the dissecting microscope or low power of the compound microscope, you will be seeing the section like this. This internal structure of the dicot stem can be differentiated into three main parts, three main regions. One is the outermost epidermis. Second part is cortex. This part, cortex. The third part is stele. This part is stele. Epidermis, cortex, stele. The epidermis, epi means upon, dermis means skin. The stem will be covered by epidermis, which is single layered, like this, which is single layered. The cells are arranged in a single row, usually rectangular, never in 2 or 3 layers. It is not multi-layered. This epidermis is covered by cuticle. This blue colored one is cuticle. Usually in mesophytes it will be thin, in xerophytes it will be thick. That is protective in function, protection against the excess transpiration. Made up of cutin, substance is cutin, layer is cuticle. and there will be here and there it will be covered by multicellular hair-like structures known as trichome. These are trichomes. These are also protective in function. Remember, multicellular hair-like structures on the epidermis. Trichomes. Then here and there, if the stem is very young, here and there we can find the stomata. This is stomata and opening, because underlying tissues sometimes will be chlorenchymatous carrying the photosynthesis for the exchange of gases, carbon dioxide and oxygen. Then stomata are provided in the epidermis. The stomata will be enclosed by the guard cells. The guard cells in turn are surrounded by the subsidiary cells. So thus, epidermis is the outermost layer consisting of a single layer of cells. It is covered by cuticle made up of cutin. Then here and there we find the epidermis is covered by multicellular hair-like structures known as trichomes. Then the epidermis here and there interrupted by stomata openings surrounded by guard cells. The next part of the stem is cortex. This part, cortex. The cortex is further differentiated into hypodermis, middle cortex, endodermis. So this is cortex. If you observe under the low power microscope, dissecting microscope, you cannot differentiate these parts, but when you observe the section under the compound microscope, you can see hypodermis. Hypo means below. The skin-like structure below the epidermis, therefore it is called hypodermis. The hypodermis is usually cholenchymatous, made up of cholenchyma tissue consisting of cellulose and pectin-made cell walls. Here, these intercellular spaces are filled with pectin. The cell wall consists of cellulose substances, so it is cholenchymatous, 3 or 4 layers in thickness. The next part is middle cortex. This part is middle cortex, made up of either chlorenchyma or parenchyma. If the stem is green, it is made up of chlorenchyma. This part, chlorenchyma, it performs the photosynthesis. Then, or sometimes if the stem is not green, then it is made up of parenchyma. The innermost layer of the endodermis, innermost layer of the cortex is endodermis. This is endodermis, black. Here it is. This is endodermis. It is a one cell in thickness. Cells are rectangular, only one cell in thickness. The speciality of the endodermal cells is consisting of Casparian strips. So here, these are the Casparian strips. The Casparian strips allow the lateral flow or the downward flow of the food materials or water. So this cortex consists of hypodermis, middle cortex, endodermis. Hypodermis made up of cholenchyma, middle cortex either chlorenchyma, photosynthetic, or parenchyma with intercellular spaces. Endodermis single layered, consisting of Casparian strips. Then the central part, wide part, very wide, is a stele. The stele consists of Outermost layer pericycle, red colored. Vascular bundles, these are all vascular bundles. Pith, then medullary rays. The stele consists of these parts: pericycle, surrounding the stele. Above the vascular bundles, wedge-shaped vascular bundles, numerous vascular bundles arranged just like a ring. Remember, just like a ring around the pith. Then third part is pith, medullary rays. Now, if you go into the details, pericycle, these are pericycle. Pericycle, 2 points we have to remember. This is found only on the outsides of the vascular bundles. It is not continuous, discontinuous, found only above the vascular bundles. The second point is, it is sclerenchymatous. Pericycle is sclerenchymatous. This part, pericycle. This is endodermis, this is pericycle. Remember one point. Endodermis is part of cortex, whereas pericycle is part of stele. Endodermis is part of cortex, pericycle is part of stele. The second part, vascular bundles, points to remember: numerous, many, arranged like a ring surrounding the pith, wedge-shaped. These vascular bundles contain 3 types of tissues. Towards in each vascular bundle, this is one vascular bundle, towards outside phloem, in the middle cambium, and towards the center, towards the pith side, the xylem. This is xylem, cambium, phloem. Here, P for phloem, C for cambium, black colored, and this is xylem. So, xylem, phloem are arranged in the same vascular bundles. They lie in the same radial line. Therefore, they are described as conjoint collateral. They are conjoint collateral because they are arranged in discrete vascular bundles and are found on the same radial line. Suppose from here you draw a radial line. On the same radial line you find xylem and phloem. And another, in between the xylem and phloem there is a cambium, meristematic tissue. Therefore, the vascular bundles are described as open, conjoint, collateral, open. Then phloem, cambium, xylem. Xylem is endarc. Xylem is endarc. So in xylem you will find 2 types. The smaller vessels are known as protoxylem. These are small, towards the pith side. Then the larger ones are metaxylem. Larger ones are metaxylem. The protoxylem is towards inside, towards pith side. Therefore, it is called endarc. Here it is called endarc vascular bundles. Xylem is vascular. Xylem is endarc. Vascular bundles are conjoint, collateral, open. Metaxylem outside, protoxylem towards the center. Sometimes in roots, the protoxylem will be towards this side, whereas a metaxylem, that is called exarch. In some, you will find mesorrhea, just like cycasa, in some gymnosperms, mesorrhea. In the middle protoxylem, on either side, the metaxylem. So, but here remember xylem and arc, vascular bundles conjoint collateral open, phloem the vascular bundles are open. Why? Because the cambium is present. Then the pith, this is central pith, very wide. When compared to cortex, it is very wide. This will be narrow, but whereas this will be very. The pith is made up of parenchyma tissue. So each part with which type of tissue it is made up of, we have to remember. It is parenchymatous. Storage in function, storage of water, storage of food materials. Then this pith extends in between the vascular bundles. Look at here, in between the vascular. These are called medullary rays. The extensions of the pith in between the vascular bundles are known as medullary rays. They are also made up of parenchyma. So thus a simple structure, epidermis. Remember here, cuticle, cutin, stomata, then trichomes, cortex, three parts, hypodermis, collenchyma, middle cortex, parenchyma or chlorenchyma, endodermis, Casparian strips, then stele, pericycle, vascular bundles, pith, medullary rays. Then the pericycle is found only above the vascular bundles. It is sclerenchymatous. Vascular bundles are conjoint collateral open. Xylem is endark. Xylem is endark. Because the vascular bundles contain the cambium, it is open. If cambium is absent, closed. No secondary growth. Then pith very white in the center, parenchymatous. The tissues present in between the vascular bundles, which is really the extensions of the pith, this is called medullary rays. So this is very important for further understanding of the secondary growth in dicot stem. In most of the dicot stems, secondary growth takes place because they are perennials, grow for many years. Then the shoot system, root system increases. In order to cope up with the growth, the secondary growth takes place. So this understanding is very important. It is also important for practicals. Thank you.